Welcome, everybody, to the 46th episode of the Building the Village podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Brandon W. Jones, your Chief Village Building Strategist, and I'm super excited because it's graduation season. For the next couple of weeks, my life is going to be insanely busy because every other day, I'm either going to be at a university graduation or a college graduation, or in a couple of weeks, I've got a series of back-to-back high school graduations. And that really got me thinking about the podcast, about this show, and what can I share with my listeners who might be graduating from college or who might be graduating from trade school or advancing in their profession or their career. And so what I was thinking about is, what are those life-changing things? What are those life-changing points that I feel like would be really, really helpful for someone in the midst of graduation or someone in the midst of elevation? And I think there's three key things that every single graduate needs to hear. And so before I jump into those points, as always, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this episode on YouTube, or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you do your audio podcast from. Make sure you leave a comment and share this episode with another graduate. And so let's jump right in. Here's the first thing that I think is important. Number one, you want to make sure that you are faithful to the mission. And that mission can be a bunch of different things, right? That mission is, more importantly, what it is your why. Your mission is your why, that thing that drives you, that internal motivator. And so before any job title, any role, or any paycheck comes into existence, you want to make sure that you are very, very, very clear about your why and your mission, because it's not necessarily going to be about who cheers for you. It's not necessarily going to be about who are the people applauding you. One of my favorite quotes from T.I. is, if you live for the cheers, you'll die by the boos. And so don't fall in love with any of it. Instead, make sure that you are faithful to the mission and be consistent in all of the work that you're doing. And I promise you, if you do those things, not only will you be successful, but as a member of the village or whatever village you find yourself in, you're going to draw others to that. People fall in love with the stories. People fall in love with the mission. People followed Dr. King because he believed in his mission. People followed Jesus because Jesus was clear about his mission. Now, here's something that I want to throw in there, okay? Because we all get trapped into this thing about being busy versus being productive. There is a very, very, very clear difference between activity and assignment. I'm going to pause for dramatic effect there. There's a very clear difference between activity and assignment. We all have activities. Picking the kids up from school, waiting in that school pickup line, going and getting the groceries, or cleaning the kitchen, all these different things, right? We have activities. And sometimes we mistake activities, specifically at work, when we're doing things that just because we're busy, we mistake it for productivity. And that's not what assignment is. Assignment is the thing that you're supposed to be doing, that thing that is birthed out of your internal motivator. And I want to make sure that all of you graduates out there are very clear about what your assignment is. And so if you're like I was when I graduated college, still trying to figure out what your why is or what your purpose is, if you want to call it that, take a moment to, first of all, just breathe. And remember that you don't have to have it all figured out today. However, over time, there's going to be some things that naturally take shape. And so the best thing I can say to you right now is, what is that thing that you're naturally good at? And you would wake up and do it every single day for the rest of your life, and you would do it for free. That might be attached to your mission. That might be attached to your why. And more importantly, that's definitely connected to your purpose. And so be faithful to your mission. Now, here's the second point that I want to make. And I think this one's just as important as the first one, because again, I don't want you all to make the mistake of being busy for being productive. And so the second point that I want to make to you all is, I want you to be fruitful in the work. I'll say that again. I want you to be fruitful in the work that you're doing. Now, when we talk about being fruitful means that we're producing results, and we're not just producing any type of result, because, you can have bad results. We're talking about producing results that absolutely matter. Just because I'm busy doing it and getting the results that I want doesn't necessarily mean that they're the results that matter, because if I work for a corporation that defines results one way, and then I have results that I like, but they're not connected to the results of the corporation, we're doing two different things, and that's not productive. That's just busy work. I want to make sure that we are fruitful in every single thing that we do. And what that means is that everything you put your mind to, everything that you set out to do, not just in work or in life, but just in general, what are those things that you set out to do? You want to make sure that it's bearing fruit. In John chapter 15, I want to throw some Bible at you all for all of my Bible readers who watch the podcast. In John chapter 15, Jesus tells us that we are to bear fruit that lasts. And what that looks like is that our work that lasts, that fruit, it should be seen and it should be growing in all of the things that we do. It should echo in the lives that we touch. It should reach people that you probably haven't even met yet. And so we don't want to just get followers. We don't want to just become Instagram influencers, or we don't want to just put another bullet point on our LinkedIn profiles. What we're really trying to do is make sure that when we're fruitful, being fruitful has a multiplication effect. It spreads, it's viral, and it's not social media viral, but it's viral in the sense that it replicates. It's a gift that keeps on giving. And so ask yourself, what's that thing that I'm really good at, and how am I using it to show up fully today? Where are those areas in my life that I can show up as my full, authentic self that has this effect that replicates itself? Where can I water those seeds that have already been planted? Where can I spread the joy of what it is that I'm doing and connect with other people? And last but certainly not least, not only do we want to be faithful to the mission, and not only do we want to be fruitful in the work, we want to be a force for good. If you look at our world right now, I hope you can see that we are in need of people in the village who can be a force for good, because anybody can get out there and be negative. Anybody. In fact, it's easy to be angry. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to turn on the news and just go down the rabbit hole of all the negativity and all the bad stuff that's going on in the world. We need people who want to be forces and change for good. And so no matter where you find yourself, I want you to know that it's very important that the people you see, the people that you're connected to, the people that you do life with, you want to do something that makes them feel seen, that makes them feel heard, and makes them feel valued. And that happens through building relationships. I was telling someone earlier, one of the struggles that I think has come from the pandemic is we've lost the art of human communication. You've heard me share that on this podcast before. I think we've lost the ability to connect with each other. We're uncomfortable having basic conversations. We don't know whether our volume in our voice is too loud or whether we're talking too softly. We've lost the art of connecting. And if we had more people who were trying to be forces for good in the village, then what we'll find is that other people will start stepping in with their mission, and then they'll start being fruitful and productive. And then we'll have more and more people multiplying and becoming those change agents for the world. Now, here's the thing about being a force for good, and I want to make this very clear. It's not about being perfect at all. Okay. In fact, we are all going to make mistakes, and we need grace in the village. You all have heard me say that repeatedly. Now, what we can do in terms of being forces for good, it's about being consistent in how we show up with our purpose over and over again. We don't have to get it right every single time. In fact, we're not going to. However, am I willing to keep showing up even if I got it wrong the last time? Am I willing to admit that I made a mistake? Am I willing to admit that in the village, I didn't show up like I needed to? And the beautiful part about that is, as you're building your village, more and more of us will be comfortable holding each other accountable. We'll feel more comfortable building those connections. We'll feel more comfortable being productive together, but also being clear about our missions and reminding each other like, hey, this is your purpose in this community, and we want to help you live up to that standard that you set for yourself. So graduates, I'll end it with this. Listen, your assignment, your purpose, your why is bigger than a title. It's way more than becoming a job. It's way more than becoming whatever your industry says it is. What this is really all about is you want to make sure that you're connected to your mission, and your mission is going to continue to evolve over time. And so as you step forward, be faithful to it, but also be fruitful in everything that you put your mind and your hands to. And last but certainly not least, be that force for good wherever you end up in this world. And so let's remember, we want to build better villages, one villager at a time, and the world is waiting for the light that only you carry. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.